The first thing that you need before you can find the distance to the epicenter is you need to be able to calculate the lag time. So the lag time is the difference between the arrivals of the P wave and the S wave. So when an earthquake happens, the waves come off from the earthquake, and the first set that arrives is called the P wave. We're going to take the measurement of that very first jump that you see right here. And then the second set of waves that comes through are the S waves. And again, we're going to take the first jump of that set as well. So both of those are marked with the dotted line. Along the bottom, you're going to see the different times, and it's important to understand the increments that each line is going up by. Each one of these lines, including these little ones, are going up by 10, and it's important to remember that there's 10 seconds, or there's 60 seconds in a minute. So that's why each of these are going up by 10 along the bottom. So the first thing we need to do is find the S wave. So if we look over here, you're going to see 3 sets of numbers, and this is just simply the hours, the minutes, and the seconds. So if we look over here at when the S wave arrives, we have 4:10, and then we have the seconds that we need to find. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40. So when I write this, we have hour 4, 10 minutes, and 40 seconds. Now we have to look at the P wave. So we go over here, and we can see on this side we're already given the hours and the minutes, and that's 4:04. And if we look at the seconds, we're going to do the same we did before and just count each little jump. So there's 10 and there's 20. From here, it's pretty basic math, and we just have to remember that we have to keep it in sections. So we're only going to subtract the seconds, the minutes, and then the hours. So we keep them grouped like you see on the screen. And when we do that, we get 40 minus 20, which is 20. 10 minus 4, which is 6. And then 4 minus 4, which is 0, which we won't write in. So this is simply 6 minutes, 20 seconds. So that means once the P wave came in, 6 minutes and 20 seconds later, the S wave came in. Now, one of the ones that you may have come across, the math isn't as easy, and there's 2 options that you can do when that happens. So if we look at this scenario right here, the S wave is very simple because it lands right on this line, which means it's 8 minutes and 0 seconds. And then if we look at the P wave, we have 4:03 and 20 seconds. So when we look at this scenario, this is where it's not as easy. But what you're simply going to do is, instead of normal math that you might be familiar with, we have to remember that we're working with time. And when working with time, what we're simply going to do is we're actually going to cross this out, and we're going to change this to 60 seconds. So we're basically borrowing a minute from here and turning it into seconds. So since I took that minute, this now becomes 7. And then from there, it's easy math again. So the 60 minus 20 is 40. 7 minus 3 is 4, and then 4 minus 4 is 0. So that's the one way that you could do this problem. Another way, if you have a hard time with that, is just to use this like a number line. So for example, I'm just going to count this section right here. So if I start at the P wave, and then I count, this is 10, 20, 30, 40. So I'm just going to jot down over here 40 seconds so that I remember. And then from here, we're just going to count minutes. So I have 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So you have the 4 minutes and 40 seconds like you did on the other side. So that's another option. If you have a difficult time with this, you can just count like a number line like you did in elementary school, and that might be a little bit easier. For this last option, this one's a lot easier because you're already given the numbers. So the S wave, we're just going to fill in down here, which was 11, 12, 45. And then the P wave was 11, 8, 15, And again, if we work in sections, (45 minus 15 is 30). 12 minus 8 is 4. 11 minus 11 is 0, so your lag time is 4 minutes and 30 seconds.